South Dakota School Line Student Association to order. Roll call and through all proxies.
Alarape.
Present.
Cant.
Here.
Patrick. Here. Hernandez. Here. Fink.
Here.
Hughes.
Here.
Proxy Stern.
Here.
Leonard.
Here.
Lewis.
Here.
Lindgren.
Here.
Lindworm.
Here.
Pilling.
Here.
Richards.
Here.
Shaw.
Here.
Seekman.
Here.
Stanek.
Howdy.
Severson.
Here.
Fossett.
Here.
Winter.
Here.
Got it, 12.
Alright, has everyone gotten to look over the agenda and like the new final one I sent out? I know I sent out like 3 of them today, so everyone, is everyone able to kind of see what it looks like? Cool. Anyone have any edits or anything they want to make? All in favor? Oh yeah, all in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Alright, that passes. Is there, everyone be able to look over the minutes from last week? It's final season, everyone, it's no excuse. Any edits, anything? Alright, all in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Alright. Before guests, we did have one, but she wasn't able to make it today, so that is no longer happening. And unfinished business. Can I have Senator Eller out there, please, up here?
Do you cap it or just you just like?
Just LDU and Captain, you guys are your two. Alright, so raise your right hand and repeat after me. As a member of the Student Association Senate of the South Dakota School of Mines Technology,
As a member of the Student Association Center at the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology,
I state your name,
I, Anoka Alarape Crow,
do hereby affirm to uphold the office of Junior Senator,
do hereby affirm to uphold the office of Junior Senator,
to abide by the Student Association Constitution,
to abide by the Student Association Constitution,
and to represent the Student Association to the best of my ability.
and to represent the Student Association to the best of my ability.
Alright, thank you. Alright, can I have Senator Captain up here, please? Alright, raise your right hand and repeat after me. As a member of the Student Association Senate of the South Dakota School of Mines Technology,
As a member of the Student Association Senate of the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology,
I state your name,
I, Tyler Captain,
do hereby affirm to uphold the office of Senior Senator,
do hereby affirm to uphold the office of Senior Senator,
to abide by the Student Association Constitution,
to abide by the Student Association Senate Constitution,
and to represent the Student Association to the best of my ability.
and to represent the Student Association to the best of my abilities.
Thank you. Alright, now on to other unfinished business. We have first Holmberg Computer Club.
Archery resolution number 24S05. I read this last week. Any questions?
Second. Alright, roll call please.
Alarape.
Aye.
Cant.
Aye.
Patrick.
Aye.
Hernandez.
Aye.
Fink.
Aye.
Hughes.
Aye.
Proxy Stern.
Aye.
Leonard.
Aye.
Lewis.
Aye.
Lindgren.
Aye.
Lindworm.
Aye.
Pilling.
Aye.
Richards.
Aye.
Shaw.
Aye.
Seekman.
Aye.
Stanek.
Affirmative.
Severson.
Aye.
Fossett.
Aye.
Winter.
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Then we have another resolution for Spikeball Club.
Archery resolution number 24S006, read this last week.
Motion to vote. Second.
Alright, second by Alarape. Roll call vote.
Alarape.
Aye.
Cant.
Aye.
Captain.
Aye.
Hernandez.
Aye.
Fink.
Aye.
Hughes.
Aye.
Proxy Stern.
Aye.
Leonard.
Aye.
Lewis.
Aye.
Lindgren.
Aye.
Lindworm.
Aye.
Pilling.
Confirmed.
Richards.
Aye.
Shaw.
Aye.
Seekman.
Aye.
Stanek.
Agreed.
Severson.
Aye.
Fossett.
Aye.
Winter.
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Alright. Moving on to new business. So first we have the standing committee appointments. So just some background, we did look at surveys, try to fit everyone to the committee we thought would fit them the most based off their choices and what they've done in the past, and this is what we came up with. So if everyone wants to take a look at it real quick, just go down a little bit there. This is who we have currently. So yeah, and I will go ahead and read it out as well. Archery resolution number 24S007, originated by myself, or presented by myself, sorry. Whereas Student Association Senate, or Student Association Constitution states that the Student Association Senate President shall appoint senators to serve on standing committees subject to the approval of the Student Association Senate, and noting remaining standing committee positions will be filled following the fall 2024 freshman elections. Therefore, be it resolved by majority vote of the Student Association Senate and signature of the Student Association President that the following senators be appointed to their respective committees. Constitution Committee, Senator Dune, Senator Keel, Senator Lindborn, Senator Pilling. Finance Committee, Senator Fernandez, Senator Lewis, Senator Schock. Government Relations Committee, Senator Fink, Senator Richards, and Senator Volstead. Public Relations Committee, Senator Cantz, Senator Lindgreen, Senator Syverson, and Student Affairs, Senator Captain, and Senator Shannon. So, any motions?
Do we need it today? Do we need to pass this today?
Yeah, we prefer to have this passed by, board.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second by Senator Fernandez. Motions?
Motion to vote?
We have to
Oh, yeah. All in favor, suspend the rule, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Passes.
Motion to vote.
Second by Alarape. All right, roll call vote.
Alarabe.
Aye.
Cantz.
Aye.
Captain.
Aye.
Fernandez. Aye. Fink.
Aye.
Hume.
Aye.
Proxy Stern.
Aye.
Leonard.
Aye.
Lewis.
Aye.
Lindgren.
Aye.
Lindborg.
Aye.
Pilling.
Yep.
Richards.
Aye.
Shaw.
Aye.
Seekman.
Aye.
Stanek.
For sure, bud.
Severson.
Aye.
Vostead.
Aye.
Winter.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Great. Cool. All right, now then we have another resolution coming from the Finance Committee. So.
Alright, Archer Reed, resolution number 24S008 on the 17th of April 2024, originated by Finance Committee, presented by myself. Whereas Environmental Change and Sustainability Club has approached the Finance Committee with a supplemental request to provide funding for Earth Day event materials, and whereas the appropriate paperwork has been filed with the Finance Committee, and whereas the Finance Committee has deemed $265 an appropriate amount to allocate to the organization, and noting Environmental Change and Sustainability Club has applied for general SOAP funding within the last 2 fiscal years, and noting Environmental Change and Sustainability Club did not request supplemental funding this past fiscal year and are eligible for a full $5,000 of supplemental funding. Therefore, be it resolved by a majority vote of the Student Association Senate and the signature of the Student Association President that $265 be allocated for the SOAP reverted funds account to the Environmental Change and Sustainability Club.
Motion to suspend the rules.
I have a question. Will this become a recurring financial request for the club?
This is not a recurring financial request for the club. It was more so like materials that they needed for Earth Day events. And there was one thing that was related to a certification, but they did state that they weren't going to make it a recurring cost or so necessarily.
Okay, so this will just be a one-time purchase for materials to be able to continue to do this in the future?
Yes.
Okay.
Senator Volstead?
I have a question. What event is taking place that they need the extra $265?
Well, they need like materials for the, like if you notice, like a lot of the candy wrapper supplies that they've been talking about recently, as well as this getting like a B certification, which is not going to be recurring, but those are like the changes or things that we were discussing. And then there was one about like magnet materials. I can't recall, but it wasn't that big expense. In the grand scheme of things, this is not that high of a supplemental request. Any other questions?
Senator Alvarado,
Motion to suspend the rules.
second by Senator Pillar. All in favor of suspending the rules, say aye. All opposed, same sign. Senator King.
Motion to vote.
Senator Pillar. Alright, roll call vote.
Alvarado.
Aye.
Camps.
Aye.
Captain.
Aye.
Fernandez. Aye. King.
Aye.
Hughes.
Abstain.
Trustee Stern.
Aye.
Leonard.
Abstain.
Lewis.
Aye.
Lindgren.
Aye.
Lindworm.
Aye.
Pilling.
That's it.
Richards.
Abstain.
Shaw.
Aye.
Seekman.
Aye.
Stanton.
Absolutely.
Severson.
Aye.
Vossback.
Aye.
Witcher.
Aye.
Motion passes.
CFO, but when you notify them of the parent's office, just make sure to remind them that, it has to be spent before the school. And so they're advising her that we should have all of those deadlines.
I'll make sure to let them know that.
Alright, now we'll move on to open discussion. So,
So I guess the first point that I would like to cover is Student Federation nominations and elections. So Student Federation is basically Student Senate, but for all the Board of Regents schools. Board of Regents, or Student Federation members don't necessarily have to be members of their respective student associations, senates, as far as I'm concerned, but that's often the pattern that we see. So Hagen and I are currently entertaining, I guess, nominations from this body. We have a couple of interested people, and I'll probably give them some time to mention what positions they're running for, what they'd like to do. But just for information, if you're interested in that, please talk to me as soon as possible. The nominations are due the 19th, which is Friday. So if you're interested in that, do talk to me soon. But if not, just be aware that that's a thing. Basically, as I said, Student Center for the entire Board of Regents kind of school collection. So I will now open it to whoever is interested in running. I did contact you all, so if you're interested in running, I do have to kind of pitch what you're interested in, what you'd love to do.
I guess I'll go first. Hi to all the people. I'm Maddie, if we haven't already met. I am currently Public Relations Chair, and I'm also involved in Drama Club, PDI, BMES, and SWE when I can make it to meetings. I am a sophomore, technically, or not technically, in years, biomedical engineering major, but I'm here as a senior senator. And I would like to, with your support, run for Vice President of Student Federation for this coming year. If I can share, I think I'd be very qualified for this position. I consider myself and am very proud of the fact that I'm a very organized individual. I enjoy administrative tasks. I like sending emails. I like keeping on top of things. I like making schedules and plans. And I feel like I could really bring that skill set to Student Federation to make sure they are on top of some of the big tasks that they have to do, and communication within the different Board of Regents schools is timely. I am experienced in this administrative set. I'm currently the Drama Club Secretary, and I have been recently elected the President for the upcoming year. I was recently elected the PDI Secretary, and again, I am PR, so I do have some experience in getting information out there and publicizing that. In case you couldn't tell, I'm passionate. I really like Senate. I really like being involved. I like knowing what's going on in my community and striving to make it the best it can possibly be. And I consider myself to be fairly in touch with what needs to happen both on mines and in the greater Board of Regents system. I've been on Senate for 2 years, so I have seen the Board of Regents operate. I understand their goals and their purpose, and I understand the Student Federation goals and purpose, and I think I could help them achieve them. And another interesting facet I do believe I bring, if you don't already know, I am from Twin Cities, Minnesota. I am not a South Dakota resident. And I feel like that brings an interesting perspective to the Board of Regents and Student Federation. We do a lot of things awesome in South Dakota and in South Dakota universities. And I think that can be highlighted and we can focus on those attributes. And I also think there's a lot of things that other out-of-state universities do well too. And I feel like that is an interesting perspective that hasn't already been brought forward. And last but certainly not least, I feel like we need some serious Western representation in StudFed. It's currently a SDSU and USD show, which is great, but I feel like I'd like us to be represented. We are no small portion of the state over here, and I want to make sure our voices are heard. And that's all I got.
Any other? Thank you for that, man. That's great. Anyone else? Alright, so I think then our second point of, I guess topic for our discussion that I wanted to bring up, was Vice President Lee and I were, taking a look at our budget versus what we got allocated from GAP. So I believe we got allocated 70% of our budget this year, or our requested budget this year from GAP. So that means we're gonna have to basically do a lot of fundraising and other stuff, to sort of be able to use this budget effectively this next year. So basically what we were thinking of, was I went to work with, Senator Leonard, and try to get us, signed up with monument events. That's a big moneymaker if you, have ever been a part of a monument event and or in an organization where that is, they use that for fundraising. It's very lucrative. It's usually about $1,000 a night. So I really want to get that set up for next semester. As well as just other small events that, they might be small, but they can build up. It's a big thing I want to do for fundraising. On the kind of other side of that, we're probably gonna have to make some cuts. When it comes to it, if worst case scenario, we'll be making some pretty big cuts. So one of those cuts might be we might have to limit the amount of people we take the shed this year again, just so we can kind of save on cost of that. And for all of you members, if you don't know what SHED is, that's Students for Higher Education Day. It's basically we go to here for a day, and we lobby for a bunch of bills and stuff that could affect not only mine but other DOR schools. We go there and there's a DOR meeting where we take stances on different bills. We'll also have one of those meetings here as well where we take stances on different bills, and then we go to here and lobby accordingly. So you might have to, that's something we might have to limit this year again. And then another thing we might have to limit are just salaries for like chair positions and such. Just because we have to, make this budget as effective as it needs to be, for everyone to do their job. Because Clyde and I also travel around the state. Besides SHED, we go to Student Federation meetings in person from time to time. I'd say about once a semester.
Once every other month.
Yeah, once every other month. You'll travel around the state, go to different DOR schools, and usually those are on the other side of the state, say or like PH. So that's important that we're there so we can represent South Dakota Minds as a body. Because it looks, not only does it look good on our part, but it also it also puts us in that, in the room where everything is going on, and we're able to get the most accurate and up-to-date information from there. So, so that's kind of a big thing. A bunch of the stuff though is the summer. I'm going to try to figure out a bunch of stuff along with Senator Leonard just to kind of make it more concrete, and we'll probably have a better idea of what's going on by probably in July of this year. So, and if you have any ideas, on top of that, if you have any ideas for fundraising, please approach Senator Leonard or I or Clive. We would love to hear those ideas because anything helps really. So, yes. Yeah. So I guess I'll give a breakdown of kind of like what we requested for our budget this year. So out of the salaries, so for the salaries we allocated $50,000 for the salaries. Then for travel, we allocated $4,751, sorry, for travel, so that included shed as well as traveling student federation meetings. And then for office supplies, like include the polos, print credits, and discretionary funds such, we wanted $2,209, and that all amounted to a total of $21,960. And out of that, we got $15,372. So, and the expectation was that we could fundraise the rest of it. So
So if you track that, we're just $300 over what we have for salaries.
So that's the big thing that we're kind of, just wanted to bring it to your attention as well, just so you know kind of that what's going on behind the scenes with all this, so. Yeah. Any questions, thoughts?
Will that be sent out in paperwork, the layout of budget, or is that not?
Yeah, I can send out the slide that we have for our, budget that we requested. That, okay. Yeah, so yeah, I can send out that, slide that for budget request this year. And then that amount that I listed, that $15,330, that's just literally the amount I got emailed. Oh, so.
I have a question not related to that, is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so, totally off topic, it's totally off your guys' topic, but I was talking to Dr. Joe, so last week we celebrated Eid, so that's the end of Ramadan, and I'm Muslim, so as a Muslim we get 2 religious holidays a year. So in Ramadan we're asked to do every activity, like this is just kind of a little context of what's happening. We're asked to do everything that we normally do on a day-to-day basis, but do that without eating or drinking all day. So upon completion of that, in the workforce and what you're doing in life, you take a day or 2 off for the point of celebrating the feat of the cleanse of what Ramadan does for you in our religion. So I approached Dr. Joe because my brother ran into an issue. We didn't run into an issue last year, so that's why it wasn't brought up, but we ran into an issue with a teacher who wasn't going to call it an excused absence because of a religious exemption. And I talked to Dr. Joe, and Dr. Joe and I agreed that this is something that we should at least address or bring up to student senate so that we can talk about maybe adding that onto our student handbook and policy so that students are protected for their religious beliefs. We also talked about, because I know this is probably going to be rebuttal, yeah, well, people can get off of religious holidays that they don't necessarily celebrate, but most people don't know when Eid is. I assume about almost everyone who didn't know what's happening, and so I'm saying that's kind of my rebuttal to that, as well as that making sure that other students get an opportunity to express their religious beliefs but not be punished for it. That's kind of what I'm looking for. So I brought it up to you guys so that we can work something out, maybe if it's not at the end of this year, just so that it's on our plate so that we can try to get something done for next year's Eid, which is in late March.
Just to play devil's advocate for a moment, I would love for everybody to get their religious holidays off, but how are we gonna say these are religions where their holidays can be off? Because anybody can say their beliefs are religion, and there's small groups of there's a spaghetti religion out there, and they have holidays too, and where are we drawing that line, how would we mark that line?
What Dr. Joe and I talked about was for major religious groups, we could say Eid becomes, if we decide to pass it and we say, just like you said, there's too many religions, we could say Eid, and we could find other major religious groups and find their holidays, which ones would be exempt. That could be something, or it could be something on the premise of, what him and I were talking about was, you're correct, yes, you're absolutely right, there's plenty of religions, there's plenty of things, and if a student really wanted to get out of class, they could. They could get into the excuse absence, they can do all that stuff, but it's also the responsibility of the student and because as a teacher, right, or as a professor, you're gonna understand, your students all have different religious beliefs and different beliefs in general. It's also part of the student's responsibility to hold themselves to a standard that they're using it for the right reasons. And I understand what you're talking about, where yes, there's multiple religions where you could just get a day off if you really wanted it, but Dr. Joe was talking about how faculty can come up to him and be like, I want, like, if students feel like they're not being represented properly to faculty, they can have that conversation with Dr. Joe. Dr. Joe also gets those conversations with faculty about students, like a student, they feel like a student, oh, I have students pulled 3 religious exemptions for 6 different religions, you know what I mean, and that type of conversation, that would be a conversation to have. But I just don't see that coming from, like, because we get like so many days, because like I said, I take days off for like Easter and things like that, but I don't celebrate those days. It was just kind of crazy that we couldn't even get it exempt from just him missing class. Like that's all he wanted. All he wanted was just so it didn't count against his grade, and that's all he wanted. And I guess that's where the problem came in.
What do you think?
Truthfully, I don't see people taking advantage of this policy to be a problem. You know, people who have gone to SHED, we know how much it hurts to take a day off of classes. Like missing a day in our already very tightly packed semester is a lot. So I don't feel like many people would want to take a day for that. And I feel like you can do that without a religious exemption anyway, just email your professor and say you're sick. I feel like would be a non-issue, for lack of a better term.
Well, I think that we'll look into this. Senator Leonard, is there anything else?
Yeah, no, the only time I can really see it being an issue is someone trying to do that as a test or something.
No. Yeah, I definitely think we should look into this. I think you approached me with this as well outside of this meeting, and I think that it's important that we look into this. So, it's understanding.
Is there an idea of limiting the amount of days of religious exemption, like they use, like in a semester? Is there an idea of that already? Senator Albright?
It's not even a part of the thing. Like, so like, Governor Kristi Noem, she gives off that Monday after Easter. That's like the only day that's actually taken off for religious exemption. Other than that, there's nothing in our student handbook that like protects students from resisting. So like, your question is completely valid, but we don't have anything even in our student handbook to protect the student about it. That's kind of the reason I brought it up. So it would be something to talk about, I guess.
So I think it's great. Thank you for bringing this up. I think we should look into it. I think I'm going to have a discussion on this for now. So thank you. Any other topics for discussion? Cool. All right, let's move on. Get back to the agenda. All right. So let's go on to the CFO report.
Thank you for passing the supplemental. Self-reward statements were sent out near the end of the weekend, on Monday, and I have full access to the email. Otherwise, no, nothing else to report, so I'll just report.
Vice President report.
Just a few things. Peggy and I nominated Shelley Tupper for the Civil Service Advisory Employee Award, basically an award celebrating staff or employees that had special contributions to the student body. So she's been really helpful to Senate, illustrating our hard record as staff and stuff, as well as just being our in-house photographer. So we nominated her, and we'll be attending the ceremony on the 8th. And then committee appointments, thanks for passing those. I am encouraging all chairs to get to know their members, just so we can have a working relationship before the start of next semester. Peggy and I have a student federation meeting online on a lovely Sunday afternoon. So we'll be attending that and hopefully, start that relationship going too. Final note, if you are creating a resolution, there is a resolution template under the encouragement folder. Use that, copy it into the current meeting, and please let Pagan or I know that we should put it on the agenda so we can have enough buffer time to send out the agenda with the updated line items. There's also an Excel spreadsheet that lists out all the different resolutions and their status. If you could fill that in, under the draft and label it as draft. And then I'll take care of it from there. But just to make sure we have everything in order, we don't lose track of numbering. That's about it. Good luck on finals. It's about to get pretty rough, so best of luck everyone in the report.
Alright. So it's my report now. So, yeah, just, brief thing, yeah, like Senator Lee said, or Vice President Lee said, we have, Student Fed this Sunday, which includes the elections, and, yeah, just like getting your resume into us by the deadline, the Vice President Lee said. And then other things I had was, so first of all, next, we had University Cabinet this Monday. Thank you, Senator Seekman, for filling in my place, as I had class. But a couple things that they kind of covered in there, was next year. So right now for part-time students, they do a thing where they get visitor passes and they can park on campus in those visitor spots. However, they found an issue that, so there are 26, I think that's the number that they came up with, was 26 spots are being taken in the visitor parking spot, and it can cause a ripple effect where there's no spots for visitors, they park in other spots, and just kind of just spreads out. So next year, they're going to make it so no matter what your credit load, no matter what, if you want to buy a parking pass, if you want to park on campus as a commuter, you're gonna have to buy a red parking pass no matter what. It doesn't matter if you're taking 3 credits, 6 credits, doesn't matter. So at first I interpreted it a little differently, but then as I got explained to me, I realized that I personally think that's pretty reasonable. If you're gonna park on campus and have access to the facilities here 24/7, then you should pay for the parking pass. So that's what they're going through. I think you guys should bring it up to your constituencies, so they know that this change is going to be in effect next year for commuter people. And after that, the school is, so as you know, we proposed to reform GAPAC committees for that wellness, I think, or was it athletics or wellness supplemental that we're going to get done. Something. It's for the that's right, it's for the wellness director. So the salary for the wellness director, they realized it was low, so we're gonna reform GAPAC to kind of provide them supplementals so they can increase that salary to what the market rate is. So all they're doing is trying to find another member for that, another faculty member for that GAPAC committee. So they're still searching to reform that one. Then after that, that quantum computing bill got passed, so they're in the signing stage of getting the money actually to us. So it's pretty good. We're going to be able to start working on that quantum computing program with DSU. So that's pretty exciting. And then finally with housing, so they said, basically what they said to us was if anyone is in the 50th spot or above for their housing request, they should probably start looking elsewhere for housing next year. If they're, I think the idea is that they're like living in the Rutgers, they should be looking elsewhere for housing because more than likely that's not going to get filled. So if you're 50 or above, don't count on being in the Rutgers, I guess, and I would spread that to your constituents. So yeah. Other than that, I think that's all I have. So go ahead and report. And that moves us on to international report. Veteran report.
No report.
Graduate report.
If you are planning on graduating in the fall of 2024 as a grad student, your application for graduation is due no later than September 5th of this year. End of report.
Very nice. Any questions, comments, concerns about that? No, seeing none. Non-traditional report.
No report.
All right. Moving on to committee reports, starting with Constitution.
Hello. So, got a promotion, by the way. My name's Adam Dogan, I'm not gonna go. I know I gave my little introduction while I was doing my thing, but I'm Constitution chair now, so I'm happy that we got our committees appointed. Plan to make it a good experience, plan to make it fun, but it is Constitution committee, so we just gotta read Constitution, talk to the organization, just understand that. And yeah, welcome all new members. I was sick last week, so thank you for choosing my absence. I appreciate y'all. And I'm looking forward to next year, looking forward to this year. If you need anything, let me know. I try to check my email often, so if it's not about Senate, if you need something else, I'm involved in like football. Nesby chapter president, actually have our elections right after this, so I'm involved quite a bit on campus. So if you need anything, just let me know. And report.
Alright, PR report.
Hey everybody, if you haven't seen it already, emailed out all the pictures from last week's transition meeting. You all looked stunning. I also added the ones from today's swearing-in ceremonies. I'll go ahead and spearhead this. If you are not currently in the Senate Snapchat, send me an email or come talk to me. We'll get you added in that. It's just going to be a really efficient way to communicate if we have to get something out to everybody quickly versus email, which can be a little more lag time. So if you're comfortable being added to that and you're not already, come chat with me and we'll add you. And hi to my new committee. Welcome to the Insanity. I'll be reaching out probably this summer to start making a game plan for next year because first thing on our agenda will be the org fair that is right when we get back. So I will be needing help with that and I'll be recruiting people to help man that group as well. That's all I got in the report.
Any comments, questions, concerns for Maddie as well as Pada, because I don't think I covered that.
I just want to tag on with the Snapchat thing. Everyone should also have access to Microsoft Teams now. So if you do not have access to that, do let me or Megan know.
Any other comments, questions for either Maddie or Abby? Alright, seeing none, let's go on to the government relations report.
We have set a date for freshman elections. It will be Wednesday, September 18th. And then you should be receiving an email, I don't know how soon it's going to be, just with asking for tentative, I can maybe make that dates for the Civic Center, because we have to sign up for those videos. Thank you.
Any comments, questions, concerns?
September 18th, you said?
Yeah, that's a Wednesday.
Alrighty, moving on to student affairs report.
Hello everybody, if you don't know me, I'm Pat Winter. My committee members remained exactly the same. Hello again, guys. Yesterday we talked about some plans for next year, and we will be doing 2 open forums and also trying to reach out around 2 clubs on campus to see how they could get involved in said open forum or just giving presentations during Senate meetings. That's all I have.
Comments, questions, concerns? Alright, I don't believe we have any campus or ad hoc committees established quite yet, so we'll move on from that. Upcoming Senate business. This is the last meeting, so do not come here next week because we will not be here. Focus on finals, focus on getting those good grades on the tests. I believe you know, while we do it. I know it's a hard time of the year. This is especially for engineers, but you know, yeah. Good luck on finals. Yeah, in our first meeting, in the fall semester will be August 28th. Yeah, August 28th. So, that's literally like the first week we come back to school. Class starts on Monday, and then that Wednesday we will be meeting. So, but yeah, that's about it. And any comments, questions, concerns about that? Nope. All right. Any announcements? Senator Winter.
Santa Claus loves all of you. Says you guys did great this year. There's only 252 days left for Christmas.
Well, welcome back to Senate. For a lot of you, it seems we have forgotten some rules for some of us. For others, we have not seen the rules before. I am specifically referring to Robert's rules. I did send them out with meeting minutes on Monday. So we'll be going over a couple of those just real quick, just to make sure we all know what's going on, especially for new senators. I don't think this is right here. I think everyone can hear me just fine. So we're just gonna do a quick overview of the general procedures here, just to make sure everyone's on the same page. Big thing, getting to speak. Whenever you wish to speak, just put your hand down and wait to be recognized by the chair, or in this case, our student president Archer. So in general, put your hand out, they'll point at you, call your name, and in which case, you will get to speak. It keeps us from really just kind of falling over each other and trying to speak. It gives me time to properly get your name down, all that sort of stuff. This also applies to things such as motions and seconding, things of that nature. Again, just wait to be called on. Don't just put your hand out and begin to speak. Another big thing, always wait for other members to try and get what they wish to get out about a topic out before trying to move on from the topic, as mentioned in Robert's rules. And really the last big thing is when it comes to discussion, you can either motion to either increase the time on discussion or to limit discussion. If you feel that more needs to be said, please, again, just put your hand out, be recognized, and motion to further discussion, or vice versa, motion to limit discussion. That's really all I want to go over. Thank you for listening.
Any comments, questions, concerns about that? Alright. Any other announcements?
Okay. Actually, two. Senator Lindgren has some of the coolest socks I've ever seen today. Check those out. But the other one, I'll be starting maternity leave in the summer. So while you guys are gone, now I will be here for that first meeting on August 28th as a co-advisor. So I'll be here with you. But after that, Wednesdays will not be one of the days that I'm in the office while I'm on leave. So we'll be sure, if Director Headley's ever not available, we'll be sure we find a replacement. I've been standing proxy advisor so that you guys aren't left completely solo. Didn't want you to be completely surprised or thrown off if you start seeing like an out of office email or not here when we get back in the fall. And that will go till about like mid-October. But again, I will be here that first week, so. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Any other comments, questions, concerns, announcements? Any motions? Senator Kelly. Alright, all in favor of adjourning, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. You're adjourned.